Right, hello, a little bit of a vlog here. In the Jag. She's running absolutely top notch, the Jag. And the other week I did have a problem. It came up on the dash saying, once I started and drove, where I went to after about 15 minutes, please start the car, as the battery was down. So I went for the run, stopped the engine, parked up, and it came up again. So I thought, wow, okay, I'll take it for a blast down the A38. I did, and after about a week not being used, I don't have it on trickle charge at all. It's just in the garage, just sitting there. I've been away for a couple of weeks working. I've not had a problem with the battery. So maybe it's just coming up to winter now. Temperatures are dropping. Did notice my offside rear tyre indicating low pressure. It was still reading pretty much okay, but it could have been just something with the air sensor. Not had any issues, touch wood, with the car. It's performed excellently. It does everything I ask it to within reason and within the law, and she's just an absolute joy to drive. The TR7, well, we've been tootling about in the 7. The coil issue, as far as I'm concerned, is gone. I've been fettling again with the SU carburetors. I've baselined them again, and she's just, you know, it is what it is. It's a 43-year-old car. She rattles and shakes, and it's a bit disconcerting changing lanes on the motorway. The wind catches it, and you're inputting more steering, and it is what it is. I don't like to go too fast in it. Maybe 70 is probably about as much as I need to go, really. There was some news about a chap I was keeping an eye on YouTube, a guy in Saskatchewan, Canada, who refurbished the TR7 convertible, and he got it up to the point for the MVI test, and it passed, and he was so chuffed with it. It's literally a complete rebuild, and his engine went, and it looked like one of the cam follower buckets had actually crumbled, so he hasn't actually got around to it. I did ask the question, but he's also had a BMW, a 1985 635 CSI, and he had an issue with that car, with it firing, and he went through all the relays, the sensors and the grounding, and he took a look at one of my videos about the coil problem I had on the TR7, and he bought himself a new coil in the end. It's either that or the ECU, which he would have been in for about $1,000. So he replaced the coil and took it for a run, and it solved his problem, similar to what mine was. The fact that the coil was running hot, it would start okay at cold and run, and then have problems. And when he watched my video and the way I explained the coil problem, not so much with the electronic ignition, but with the coil problem, I think the whole problem stemmed from the coil. He ended up buying a new coil for $100, and it worked a treat. So this is what YouTube is about, in a way, especially with cars and putting stuff out there about work. It may be boring to another person, but somebody somewhere is going to find something that is of help to them. Likewise, I've looked on TR7 videos for a bit of sort of a sanity check with stuff, you know, as other people have been finding, and it's great. You know, somebody in another country, in the heart of Saskatchewan, that actually watched my email about my TR7 coil issue and thought, maybe I'll try that, and the rest is history. So it's great when that happens, because my woes easily solved his woes. Well, I say easily. He'd gone around the houses with his BMW, but yeah, and his 7, he's yet to do the engine yet, so I look forward to that. And yeah, it's not a bad day today. It's all overcast, a bit windy. The nights are drawing in a bit, and it's getting colder, especially cooler, I'd say, not colder yet. And yeah, I was going to take the TR7 today, but bearing in mind I've had this battery problem with the Jag. I say a problem, it's just hard as an issue. I just thought I'd just take this for another run today. It's my mum's birthday tomorrow, so I was out getting a few bits and pieces, and we're going to have a tiny little tea party for her at the home tomorrow. So I look forward to that. She's 85, and she's doing well. She's safe and secure, and dare I say it, it does free up a lot of my time to be able to make more of my boxes. And sales have been pretty good. I've got to thank everybody for you know, pitching in and ordering the boxes from me, the Blood Electrifiers. I have had a few issues, a couple of issues with the mono plugs, quality issues really, with the signal not getting through once the jack's plugged in, but without going too much into it, it's great the way the people interact with you, because they know they're dealing with somebody that's genuine, and I obviously got them up and running again by sending another box out very quickly to them. But I do appreciate the way people actually deal with these problems, and you know, they give good feedback, and they're really human about it too, which is nice, rather than you know, being abusive or anything like that. As some people could be, I suppose, when they spend their hard-earned money, and rightly so in some aspects. But it's all been good experience, and my after-sales service and support is there. Like I've said, you know, I'm just not there for sales. You know, it's my product. I build it, I test it, and it's good to hear these feedback, because I can focus in on specific issues that I've seen in the past and make sure I put them to bed and they don't repeat. So I must have had 2 which had hairline cracks in the metal contacts when the signal was pushed in. Now I do test and scope these out, but the two instances I had, one of the monoplugs was a hairline crack, which was just opening up the connection to the jack plug, which is I was quite surprised with. And I'm always fighting a losing battle. Prices always go up, but I don't want to put prices up. I don't want to stop the free postage and the batteries, because as I said, people can try this right out of the box, and that's what I like about it. And it's a fair price as far as I'm concerned, and one I wouldn't want to rely on to make a living, but it's something that I feel that people should have, and you know, and use. And to that end, it's what and the feedback I've had on on eBay inspires me to continue on and push these things out as much as I can. So I'm making them in batches of between 6 and 8, and you know, it takes me a good 24 hours to get from scratch to build 6 to 8 parts, you know. And no sooner do I make them, the orders come flooding in, and within a week they're gone, so I have to keep on top of it. So I'm always trying to look for alternative suppliers that can supply the quantities in the amount that I need in a good time. And so, yeah, they're just to battle against the increasing costs that everybody seems to be increasing all the time. So I don't want to do that. I think the best thing I would do is, well, in terms of not putting the prices up, maybe not supplying the batteries, but I get them for £1 each. And even though they're not alkaline batteries, there is zinc, chromium, or whatever it is, at least they're not the best of the best, but people can test them out of the box. And I do recommend Duracell batteries. They just go, they do go on and on, as the advert suggests. I've had about 9 of the small, I think they're AAA batteries, in my little printer module I use for the slips. And those batteries have been in there for 2 years, and I've gone through about 10 reels of tape, and yet the batteries are still running, and they're Duracells. So that's testament to the quality of the Duracell batteries. So if you put Duracell batteries into the Blood Electrifier, expect a good couple of years out of it if you're using an hour-a-day. So yeah, as I was just saying there, use Duracell batteries. The camera kicked out again because there's no internal battery of any use in the cam, and the power shuts off after 5 minutes in the Jag. So rather than fumble again, I just thought I'd end it there. Thanks very much for watching, and hope everybody's well. Goodbye.